Hello and welcome to Europe Rendezvous. In this show, we're going to take you around Europe using different means of transport. Bikes, trains, planes, cars, electric scooters, you name it, we've got you covered. In the current EU budget, the Union is investing 63.2 billion euros in transport out of cohesion funding. So this is an important area. We're starting here in Fontainebleau, about an hour south of Paris, on this lovely 7-kilometre cycle path. And of course, a greener, low-carbon economy is very much where the EU is trying to head. My next stop is Poland, where there's a boom in connectivity happening. Warsaw's Chopin Airport is a key hub in Central and Eastern Europe, and it's one of the fastest-growing airports in the region.
Warsaw Chopin Airport increasing very fast. The last year, 2025, we have more than 24 million passengers and 600 operations per day. Of course, we use financing by European funds, for instance, infrastructure and environment, cohesion funds. So for us, it's very important. Till now, we use 60 million euro from the European Union funds.
The terminal's been modernized to manage passenger flows, transfers, and Schengen and non-Schengen requirements.
I like this airport. I was there many times and I like it. Oh, it's relatively modern. Not the best modern part of Europe, I think so, but I like this place.
I have been traveling all around the world, and this place is okay for me. It's very comfortable. I just need a place to sit, to charge my phone, to drink coffee, and to eat something, and that's enough for me.
So perhaps not a premium airport on a global scale, but certainly very decent.
We are on the de-icing apron, which is a place where the aircraft, such as the one behind me, are being de-iced before flights. When the ice is created on the wings, it may endanger the flight. The icing fluid goes down and is stored in special tanks. The apron could not have been created without the support of EU funds. For this project, we have received approximately 6 million euros.
Piotr, there's also a new airport project. Why is that needed?
This airport has been here for 92 years, and the city has grown outside of the airport. And we have huge opposition from the residents. They say that they cannot stand the noise, it is understandable. And people want to travel more and more. So we need to transfer from this place 30 kilometers approximately from here and to create a new transportation hub. It will be very accessible from Warsaw by high-speed trains. It will be new, modern, using state-of-the-art technology. It will be open in 2032. There will be so-called spokes, which will be going to other cities of Poland. I believe it will be the biggest airport here in the Central and Eastern Europe.
And let's have a closer look at that exciting new transportation hub, Port Polska. A transport revolution. Warsaw's new airport and high-speed rail hub will be located 45 kilometers from the capital when it opens in 2032. It spells the end for the existing airport.
We need to respond to the growth of the market and of the wealthiness of Polish citizens. They want to travel, they want to have modern ways of transportation, and that's what is the project aiming for.
The mega airport aims to welcome 44 million passengers each year, twice that of Chopin. It's crucial to cementing Poland's position as a regional hub.
It can become the sign that will present Poland as the most modern, the most efficient, the most well-developed country in Europe.
This tunnel in Łódź is the first phase of the high-speed rail network, which will put Warsaw within 4 hours of Berlin and Prague.
This is the missing section of the high-performance railway network that will connect European countries, the Baltic states of Lithuania, Latvia and Estonia, via Poland with Germany and France.
The rail investment will cost 18 billion euros, and the 500 kilometers of high-speed track will link 4 of Poland's largest cities.
We're connecting the largest metropolitan areas where the highest passenger flows are and where the time savings and environmental benefits will be the greatest. This is only possible with the use of EU funds.
In all, the new hub will cost 32 billion euros. So far, it's received 140 million from the EU, but more may come further down the line. We're now in a district of Warsaw called Prague, where the expansion of Metro Line 2 is changing the area. Katarzyna, how important have EU cohesion funds been for Poland's overall development?
So the EU cohesion funds were crucial for Poland's transformation. Thanks to the EU funds, Poland was able to improve its transport, its infrastructure, its energy network and city transport. And people could see and feel it in their daily life. You cannot imagine how Poland has changed since joining the EU. Its GDP more than doubled, and per capita, the GDP reached from 50% of EU average to 80% of EU average. And what's important, for many years, the EU cohesion funds were actually a half of all public investment being made in Poland.
Despite this rosy picture that you've painted, we shouldn't forget that for a long time, EU funds to Poland were frozen under the previous government of Law and Justice. Did that have a lot of impact?
Well, indeed, due to the rule of law issues, Poland did not receive the EU money under the Next Generation EU that were meant to boost post-COVID economy. And it lasted 2 years, between 2021 and 2023. But the situation changed after the new government addressed the rule of law concerns, and the money were unblocked. But this delay has a price, because now Poland has only 3 years to spend 55 billion allocation, because there is a deadline of at the end of August 2026.
Tell me a bit more about where we are now, this neighborhood, and how the expansion of metro networks is actually affecting this kind of area here.
Yes, so we are actually in the middle of Warsaw. It's so-called Prague North.
Nothing to do with the Czech Republic.
The capital of Czech Republic, Czechia. So this particular area is very close to the river. It used to be very undeveloped, but thanks to the metro, among other things, is now being revitalized. We are seeing the construction project. There are new houses being built, as this part of Warsaw is now much more attractive.
Katarzyna, this is a spanking brand new metro carriage we're in.
Yes, exactly. It has been also co-financed from the EU money, but the whole Metro Line 2 that we are now visiting has been financed from the structural fund, from the cohesion policy, and the EU offered 1.3 billion euro support that was covering 60% of the cost.
And there's the Line 3, which is being added to the whole network, isn't it?
Yes, it's being now under construction, and there is also planning going on regarding the line number 4.
So how does all this fit in with green mobility and people leaving their cars and so on?
You know, Warsaw is a 2 million city, and imagine that 20 years ago there was no metro line. For Paris, it's difficult to imagine. So we are really catching up. And this particular line really made a huge difference because for the first time, it connected the right part of Warsaw with the left part. It's the quickest way to cross the river these days.
Katarzyna, thank you so much. I've got to run and get a metro to Warsaw City Hall, so I'll see you another time.
Yes,
Thank you.
Enjoy your ride.
We're going to talk more about how people get around this big city and its future transport projects with the mayor of Warsaw, Rafał Trzaskowski. You're promoting people to use public transport, but of course there's been a bit of a backlash to that as well by car users who say they don't have a choice, those that have to use a car. Is there an anti-car agenda going on?
Well, the populists are trying to play that card. You know, I mean, my response to it is that if we were to do nothing, we would have even more cars and we would just suffocate in Warsaw. I mean, yes, we are investing in public transportation. Yes, we are investing in greening the city, so we have more trees. Yes, we have introduced this low emission zone in the center of the city, but that means that exactly, I mean, if you really must use your car, because, you know, there is no alternative, or you have to be in 5 places at a time, then it will be actually easier for you to find a parking place and to move around in the center.
Poland is the biggest beneficiary of EU cohesion funding of any EU member state. Is that now at risk? Is it going to be jeopardized by the EU Commission's plan to merge cohesion funding with this mega fund, so you won't have as much oversight at the local level on how the money is spent? Is that a big problem?
Well, I do not understand why Ursula von der Leyen and the European Commission put that project forward, because actually, if you really want to realize the European priorities on innovation, on fighting climate change, on education, on anything, then you have to do it with the cities and with the regions. If you really want to strengthen the democracy as such, I mean, you should strengthen the cities and the regions, because populists do not win so easily in cities and regions. And why on earth is Ursula von der Leyen trying to get rid of all the allies in realizing those priorities and simply centralize the budget? I have no idea. It is against democracy, it is against effectiveness. It simply does not make sense.
Mayor Trzaskowski, thank you so much for being our guest.
Thank you very much.
So, Minister, tell me about Western Station here in Warsaw.
Well, it's probably the biggest single transformation that happened in Warsaw over the last couple of years. We just opened it in January, actually. 500 million euros from cohesion policy for this very station that transformed it completely. It is the biggest station not only in Warsaw but also in Poland, and I will argue that it's probably one of the most modern, if not the most modern, train station in the European Union.
If we're talking about 2021 to 27, so the current budget, what is the cohesion element for transport?
So currently we're looking at 16 billion euros for transport from 21 to 27. So quite a profound sum to boost the funding, not only in the largest cities, but also in more remote areas, which is a very big priority in Poland at the moment as well.
Last year, you had 139 million passengers using rail, so it's a really popular way of transport, isn't it?
It's becoming popular again, because when you look at the statistics from around 2000 to 2020, you see that year by year, the number of people traveling by year was decreasing in Poland. But now, for the last couple of years, thanks to investments such as this one over here, the new rolling stock, which is, I mean, one of them is just passing by, that ridership is skyrocketing. So, yes, we are placing our chips on rail.
Minister, we've seen long-distance routes in Europe either being phased out or shutting down, you know, Paris, Berlin, Paris, Vienna, and so on. Is there a Polish exception?
There is a Polish exception. I mean, only last year we opened a new route from Warsaw to Rijeka on the Adriatic coast in Croatia, which runs through a couple of countries on the way, because, I mean, we do not border Croatia, naturally, and that connection has been a hit. The tickets sold out, and I believe also that for many Poles, there is a real alternative now that, you know, previously, as any other European country, it was popular to jump on a low cost and fly very far off to the Mediterranean on either side of it for holidays. Now, hopefully, some people will choose, or do choose already, to jump on a train, go to the Adriatic coast, stay in the EU, and relax a bit closer to home.
Well, I am now going south from Warsaw to Budapest, the capital of Hungary. I'm actually taking a night train, so I better get ready. It's going to be quite a long journey. I'll see you there. Minister, thank you so much for being on the program.
Enjoy the trip.
Thank you. Budapest in 13 hours. Right now we're somewhere in southern Poland, then we cross through Slovakia into Hungary. I'll see you for part 2 of this Europe Rendezvous show in Budapest. Good night.